Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 129 of my brand new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys the new books that I pick up at my LCS every week. Really big stack. I think I've got 9 issues in total this week. It's 8 from Marvel and 1 from Image. So, there just happened to be like a whole bunch of different series that we're wrapping up and different one-shots and stuff that came out. Every once in a while you just have one of those crazy weeks. It's like twice as much as you'd normally get, right? So, hard on the wallet this week. I know I'm coming out with this a day late. My shop got shorted on their Marvel books. They just got them in today, so I was able to stop by. But yeah, so let's just get right into it here. Yeah, a lot of good Marvel stuff. No like new huge number ones or anything, but definitely some big releases. So we'll start off here with Ultimate Invasion number 4. They're charging you $9 for this. I'm definitely a stickler for like trying to keep low prices on comics, or at least keeping the same prices we've been having. Because $9, I think you get like probably 40 or 50 pages of content, which is fine. It's just not what you'd normally expect for that. So I like to look into those things, but as long as it's a good comic, I guess if you're getting your money's worth, then it's worth it. It just feels like Marvel likes to put a high price tag on kind of like big event comics like this. Either way, though, this has been a pretty interesting series so far. I'm not really sure what I expected out of it, but it's a little bit different. It's definitely subverted my expectations. So far, it's just had to do with the maker, who's like the Ultimate Universe version of Reed Richards, right? And how he's trying to build his own new Ultimate Universe based on like his recollections of the old one before it was destroyed in Secret Wars, right? So it's him like going to this other universe and meddling with like the time in that universe, I guess, to try to warp history and make all the heroes how he wants them to be. We're supposed to be leading somewhere with this. We don't have any announcements on like any new Ultimate Universe titles or anything, but there's this one shot that's just called Ultimate Universe. It's coming out, I think, in like November or December. So definitely there's going to be some progress with this, but nothing announced yet. I don't know if Jonathan Hickman's name is going to still be attached to whatever ends up coming out. But yeah, pretty thick issue here. It'll be a lot to read. If you've already read this, I'm curious to know what you're thinking about the whole new setup down in the comments. Next up, though, we got Immortal Thor number 2. Staying on the same note about price, Marvel has now raised like all their new comics to $5, right? You still get the 20 pages worth, but any new series they're coming out with these days, they'll charge you an extra dollar for every issue. It seems like that's just kind of going to be the new status quo for Marvel. I'm not sure how like DC and Image are going to follow suit. As far as I've seen, I think they still just charge the same amounts as they always have. So we'll see if Marvel's going to pioneer some sort of new price hike. Which is fine because it goes with inflation, I guess. It's just still hard to handle. A whole dollar more is kind of a lot. I feel like they used to go up by shorter amounts before I was reading comics and stuff. Isn't it supposed to like progress slower? Either way, though, this has been a really great series. I really liked the first issue. We got like a double-sized issue for that. The idea is that there's these gods called like the Utgard gods, I think is like the name of the realm that they're in or whatever, who are like even more powerful than Thor and Loki and all of the Asgardian gods that we know, right? They're like more evil versions of them that are somehow related to them also. And it's getting pretty complicated, but I really like the first issue. It's like pretty grandiose. Definitely different than Immortal Hulk, even though it's also by Al Ewing. It's got like more of an adventure tone, I guess. It's less of a horror comic in general. Next up, this is one that will probably be the only issue I ever buy of this series, but Invincible Iron Man number 10. It's part 2 of the Emma Frost and Tony Stark wedding. This ties into Fall of X. That's really the only reason that I picked it up, because it seems like pretty essential reading, right? I'm keeping up with X-Men stuff. I'm buying like X-Men, Immortal X-Men, and I also am picking up Uncanny Avengers. And I hopped on all those kind of as a fresh reader because I haven't been getting X-Men stuff in a while. But they're also tying in Invincible Iron Man for this wedding issue. I am really curious to see what the deal is here. There's some sort of like undercover situation that Emma Frost has going on with Tony Stark that it seems like has been already going on in the Iron Man ongoing series, which I haven't been reading, where she's posing as some kind of journalist. So it's like a mutually beneficial situation for them to get married in the way that they are. They're not actually in love with each other or anything like that, which is to be expected, right? Two people with like as high of egos and their own empires and everything like them would never actually choose to. So that's Invincible Iron Man number 10. Next up, this is Death of the Venomverse number 5. So they've been giving us like backup stories in the back of every issue. There's 2 ongoing like plot lines. There's the David Michelini story. I think that's like the original writer of like Venom Lethal Protector. And then there's like an anime style one in the back also. This series has been a little disappointing in my opinion. It's just a lot of fun, I guess, is really all you can say about it. Crazy artwork, really like kind of jagged style here by Gerardo Sandoval. I've been liking his artwork a lot. That's honestly my favorite part of this. But the writing has been a little bit dry. It's just people trying to take down this like multiversal carnage that's been killing Venoms all across the universe, and like stealing their powers, becoming more and more of a god to the point where he's what he looks like now, right here. We know that he's going to survive this and come out on the other side because there's going to be a new Carnage ongoing series that starts, I think, like next month. Just kind of a weird, like, in between that seems like it should be on a really big scale, but is also just, like, almost hard to take seriously because it's so insane. And there's, like, little to no, like, actual exploration of any characters. It's just, like, action, action, action. So a little bit disappointing. I like the other Venomverse stuff they've done before more than that. But next up, we got Avengers number 5. It looks like kind of a Scarlet Witch focused issue, but let's look at the artwork inside of here. So Jed MacKay is writing this. He's one of my favorites right now. He's doing a good job on Moon Knight. And Doctor Strange has also been really good. So I had high expectations going into this. The first couple issues I really liked. He's been taking kind of like a method with his writing where he like focuses on the individual characters a lot more than I've seen in other Avengers runs. So he like shows each of their individual strong suits and how they work together and stuff. We got a different artist on this issue. It's Ivan Fiorelli this time. The artwork looks pretty similar. The artwork honestly has not been like anything really to stand out in this series so far, which is kind of disappointing because I'd expect really nice artwork from like the premier Avengers title. But yeah, Jed MacKay is doing a pretty good job with this so far, and we'll see how it goes on. But that's Avengers number 5. Next up, we got a Moon Knight series. This is that one that ties into the ongoing, but also it stands alone pretty well if you're just looking for a new Moon Knight thing to pick up. This is Moon Knight City of the Dead number 3. So it's going to be 5 issues. You kind of have to read part of Moon Knight number 25 to get the gist of like the backstory behind some of this, but you can also just jump into it on your own. But it has to do with his friend, or I guess his like former lover, who was also his mercenary teammate, I guess is the best way of saying it, who died in some sort of explosion before he became Moon Knight, right? So he's reuniting with her in the spirit realm, the City of the Dead, the title of the comic, and he's also like looking for the spirit of this little kid that some sort of like bad organization was able to summon. So like kind of a loose plot, honestly. Really the idea behind this is just that it's Moon Knight like facing his past foes in this City of the Dead where he can see them again, like everyone he's ever killed. And then also bringing in this character that they're adapting from the Moon Knight TV show that hadn't been in comics until now. It's been okay so far, not as good as the main Moon Knight ongoing, but I'll definitely stick with it till the end. I've still been liking it a lot. The second to last one I picked up from Marvel, though, this is Marvel Unleashed, number 2. The first issue was good. I like that one a lot. And this one, it looks like it's just going to continue on with assembling the rest of this team of Pet Avengers that they've been putting together. One of my favorite Marvel teams of all time. I read the original Pet Avengers series that they did over and over again when I was a little kid, so I was obviously really excited for this new one to come out. It's a lot different because it's a different team. There's some of the original members, but it's like more modern take on Pet Avengers, right? We have like the Flurkin cat and stuff, and they're prioritizing some of the newer characters that have come up over the last few years, like Bats the Ghost Dog. You can see him on this page and stuff. But based on that cover there, it looks like we're getting Throg back into action. He's one of my favorites. I liked when he popped up in Donny Cates' Thor run, so it looks like we're getting him at the forefront again. And yeah, interesting art style here. It reminds me of Nick Klein's art style a lot. Kind of like messy, but really colorful at the same time. Not sure how many people are getting this. I know it's like more lighthearted. It's like almost veering on like being marketed towards kids, I guess is the best way of saying it. So I've been liking it, but I might be a little bit biased since I originally liked Pet Avengers. Next up, though, the last one I got from Marvel, not set in the Marvel Universe, but this is Miracle Man, the Silver Age. This is number 6. It's been so long since an issue this has come out. Not sure what's delaying them so much, but I guess this comic was delayed like almost, I think, more than a couple decades, right, to begin with. This is a script that Neil Gaiman came up with a long time ago. I'm not sure how involved he actually is in writing every single panel and everything now, or if that was just based on something he had written a long time ago. But they're supposed to keep on publishing these Miracle Man comics, right? I think there's supposed to be another story arc after this called The Dark Age that Neil Gaiman had planned out for his Moon Knight run ever since he was publishing it under, I think Eclipse was the name of the publisher that he was originally supposed to be like finishing his run under before it went out of business. There's obviously a really long publishing history behind Miracle Man. I was really excited about this when it first started coming out. It's lost a lot of momentum since it's taking so long to release these last couple issues, but I think we have a number 7 after this, and then they should move on to whatever the next step is for Miracle Man. Lastly, though, this is an issue I picked up from Image Comics. It's Void Rivals #4. Everyone's buying this. It's a big deal, right? It's the Energon universe, so it's this new like space universe with these alien races, which have been at war with each other on like two sides of a black hole. Is the idea behind this one, and then it's like one member from each of those alien races meeting each other and having to work together to get off this deserted planet. But then we've also got the Transformers and G.I. Joe universes that are shared in whatever's going on here. So not really sure how they're going to plan on like connecting those things that are, I guess, mostly going to be happening on Earth, right? With like G.I. Joe and stuff to everything that's been happening in Void Rivals. But yeah, the new Transformers issue #1 by Daniel Warren Johnson comes out soon. So I don't know anything about Transformers, but I'll definitely pick that up because that's one of my favorite creators. But those were all the issues. I know this video's gone a little bit long. I'm glad to have picked those up even though I got them late. A lot of good reading to do. I'll have to get caught up. But let me know if you picked up any of the same stuff I did, what you're looking forward to reading this week down in the comment section below, or what was your favorite issue if you already read them. And yeah, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, make sure to do that also if you've been enjoying the content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.